my project, Move Fast, Think Fast. So sort of the core of this game is going to be trying to make a game that's equal parts fun and research. This is a game called Waker. It's on the one hand, it's a fun platformer with innovative mechanics. On the other hand, it also uses mechanics to teach physics concepts to children that are way too young to be learning physics, velocity, position, acceleration, through its platforming mechanics. Okay. So the way the project is going to go is it's basically going to be a first-person dynamic platformer, much like Mirror's Edge, that lets the player move fast by accessing a super speed ability, and think fast through a dynamic, through a variable timescale mechanic that lets them perceive things to be moving slower than they actually are, much like Enter the Matrix. And probably the best analog for this game is the Sonic games, in which you're basically running through an urban landscape at high speed, dodging obstacles and trying to basically seeking an adrenaline rush by moving through this landscape. So basically, it's a combination of speed, flow, that sense of adrenaline, and the aesthetic is going to be cyberpunk. The main character is a cybernetically enhanced daredevil who runs through this landscape seeking thrills and collectibles that are definitely not rings. And the cyberpunk also provides the basis for the research aspect of this game, which is going to be research into the topic of simulator sickness, which is a set of symptoms similar to motion sickness, that people experience when they engage with a 3D simulation that's dynamic. So the features of this game related to research, the most important one from a research standpoint is the customizable visuals. The camera is going to be customizable for the player's comfort, and from as many respects as possible, from camera field of view all the way up to the way the dynamic world is lit, because it's actually a research tool. These are some of the key features of the game. The most important one is that the player, if they suffer from simulator sickness, has an outlet to state how severe the reaction is. They can give feedback on the circumstances that create their reaction, and that information that they volunteer, along with the visual specifications of the game, are sent to a central database that we curate and can analyze. This is the overall timeline for development. It's supposed roughly a 6-month production. This is the financial overview. The idea is that the game will be primarily financed through research grants from people who are interested in research related to motion sickness and simulator sickness. Developers who want to make games that are that address the issue, and people who suffer from simulator sickness who want to contribute to the game. And developers who support this game will receive, in addition to a percentage of revenue, promotional credit as people who are more likely to be making games that cater to people who suffer from simulator sickness, and access to the player questionnaire data so that they get an additional competitive edge that lets them make games that are more accessible overall. This is the somewhat conservative budget, which will of about $73,000, which can increase depending on how much support we get from developers and players. So at the end of development, the hope is that we'll have a complete game package that will be distributed online through a pay what you want model that tries to cast as wide a net as possible to get more information. A central database that can be curated by the development team of player information, and hopefully a laboratory tool that developers can use to generate safely simulator sickness reactions in a controlled environment, and then experiment with it and measure it with the in-game questionnaire.